Hey guys, in this lesson we're going to go over how to solve simultaneous equations algebraically. So let's get into it. So first off, when we're talking about simultaneous equations, all right, we have two kind of methods of solving them simultaneously, and that's the substitution method and the elimination method. Right, and in these, right, which we'll go over a bit later, here and here, right, we have kind of three different systems, right? So we have one where there is one solution, one there is no solution, and one where there is infinite solutions, right? And infinite just means they're on the same line, right? So how do we solve these, right? So the first method is the substitution method, right? And this is where, if we have a look at this, right, as an example, let me write it up here. So we have x plus 2y equals 10, and 3x minus y equals 5. Right, we're going to solve one of these equations for either x or y, and we're going to substitute that equation into the other equation. So what does that look like? Let's start with this first one. So let's just label this equation 1 and equation 2 and make this a bit smaller. Right, so if we take equation 1 and we solve it for x equals 10 minus 2y. Let's label this equation 3. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to sub equation 3 into equation 2. So sub 3 into 2, just like that. Right, so it's going to be, well, we have x here, it's just going to be 10 minus 2y. So 3 times 10 minus 2y minus y equals to 5, right? And then we're just going to solve this, simplify. So 30 minus 6y minus y equals 5, then 30 minus 7y equals 5, and then minus 7y equals to, right, or minus 25. Right, so y is then equal to, right, minus, or not minus, 25 over 7. Right? And now that we've got this, all we have to do is to sub it into equation, or whichever equation we want pretty much, to find x. So let's just sub it into this one here. So sub y equals 25 over 7 into 3. All right, so x equals to 10 minus 2 times 25 over 7. That equals to, just put it in the calculator real quick, 10 minus 2 times 25 over 7. That equals 20 over 7. Right, so our two, right, points of intersection is, right, x equals to 20 over 7 and y equals to 25 over 7. Right, and if the question asks, you can simplify this down into the decimal places. But that's how you solve these types of questions with the substitution method. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, right? And also, try and solve these while I'm doing it as well, right? This is going to get you into the habit of forming those neural connections, which we talked about in the neuroscience of learning, right? Fast track to band 6. And this is going to help greatly with your learning. All right, so the next one, we have 2x plus 3y equals 13. The next one, we have 4x minus y equals to 5. So let's just solve whichever one's easiest, right, for one variable, like this 1 and 2. So let's just do it for equation 2, for example. So 4x minus 5 equals to y. We'll name this equation 3. Okay, so all we have to do, and let's just sub this around, make it clearer for you guys, 4x minus 5 move this and move this up here. All right. So all we're going to do is the same thing. Sub 3 into 1. Right, and make sure you don't sub it into the same equation. So don't sub this into this, right? Okay, so we have 2x plus 3 times 4x minus 5 equals to 13. Right, and then we just solve it algebraically. So we have 2x plus 12x minus 15 equals 13. So 14x minus 15 equals 13. Then we have 14x equals to 13 plus 15, 28. And then x is equal to 2. Right? And we sub x equals 2 into either 1 or 2, or we can even do it into 3 because it's already solved for us. Right, into 3. Right. All you have to do is sub it into any of these equations up here. Right. So we have y equals to 4 times 2 minus 5, and that equals to 4 times 2 minus 5, 3. Right. So our solution is x equals to 2 and y equals to 3. Right? And we can write this as 2, 3. Right? And this is how you solve these using the substitution method. Right? And I like this way best. Right? It just works. It just seems easier for me. And in the next video, right, I'll show you how to do it using the elimination method. So stay tuned for that.